I think that the female lions, when they're not around the male lion, I don't think that they're like tripping. Well, and it could be different for certain tribes or like cliques, Yeah, I mean some of them for sure, but just like anything else, well, actually, no, maybe not like anything else because it's an animal. So like you could easily say like each king would be different. Like each king would be different. You could say that, but when it comes to animals, I don't know if you could say that. I think you could argue that they're all the same.
Because they have instinctual brains.
Yeah. But that might also be the reason that the females enjoy it and like genuinely are like all goo over the male because they have to be, right? Because
I don't think they are. Most animals, like the males, have to like coax the females into mating.
Wow.
But so
they don't fight.
so then do you think that the females then well then why wouldn't they kill him? Yeah. But dude, like, you kidding me? I think 2, definitely 3 or 4 female lions could do light work.
But they don't, because they know their place. Could do this. They just use their instincts.
And they
for years to propagate their species.
And they know that if they deviate, it could kill them.
Yeah.
Right? And their species could cease to exist. We could learn a lot from animals. There's this other lion, his name's Christian. Have you heard about Christian the lion? So this is what the video is supposed to be about. The amazing story of Christian the lion. And how we could take a little bit of lesson from the animals. Christian the lion, well, he was in Africa during the Rwanda fucking problem or something. I don't know. But there was one of the conflicts that Africa has way too much of. And there was this British writer or something or other there. And these fucking poachers killed these lions. And they only left one lion cub. Piece of shit. Well, this guy brings this lion to his fucking boys in London. Okay? Crazy, right? Well, these boys, they raise Christian. They raise him for years and years and years and years and years. No problems, not a nip. Okay? But they start seeing, like, that he is getting aggressive. And he looks unhappy because he's like probably a teenager lion in London. In London.
Puberty lion in London.
Puberty lion in London. Yeah. Exactly. Run. James Dean in Rebel Without a Cause.
Yeah.
That would be puberty lion. But so the resident, and they're like, damn. Now, granted, now they're biologists, and clearly their family had some type, was it like Indiana Jones folk, and
Or like the crocodile hunter.
yeah, they definitely crocodile hunter peeps. And so they're like, we got to give him back. And it's like, but to who? His whole family's dead.
Yeah,
it's like, we got to give him back to the jungle, nigga.
He's gonna die.
And that's what everybody said. Everyone. And they said even if he could survive off of killing his own food, which is very fucking slim to none. Because it takes a lot of fucking practice to kill a fucking gazelle. The other lions would fuck him up. They'd be like, oh no. They treat him like they treat him like black people treat me.
Oh my God.
Because I'm pretty, yeah. And so they do it. They get him in a big old plane. And like, oh man, they fly there and it's sad. Like, Christian knows he's about to get left. He knows. And he's just sad. He's depressed. And he just walks away. He says goodbye to each of them, and he just does that whole lion thing off into the distance. However, reluctantly, the brothers go home, right? and they're not really the same. It sucks, but they do know and they do feel like they did the right thing. But they hope he didn't die, right? And well, they wanted to give him time to adjust. But eventually they couldn't take it anymore, right? So they fucking go to see if they can find Christian again, right? And see if you will recognize him.
Reverse.
Reverse Jungle Book. And so they go. Right? And so they go. Now, lions, you know, they do stay in one place for a little bit of time, but not a great amount of time, you know? And they also don't know if he's alive. They don't know if he's part of a pride, or what. Like, it is actually statistically not good. And I think that they started running those numbers on the plane over there, and just being like, wow, like, we might have just flown ourselves back over to Africa, like, to like walk into one of the most traumatic situations of their life, you know. And it's not like they'd see anything crazy, but just like if he wasn't there, if he was dead, like just knowing that they knew he wasn't able to survive, and they served him up to the fucking beasts. But that's not actually what happened. They hiked for about a half an hour until they saw a female lion, right, and a cub, and they were like, oh fuck, like this might be a dangerous situation. Okay, the female lion sees them from about a quarter mile away and approaches them. The cub doesn't, and gets within like 15-20 feet, and then turns around and goes back to the cub, and then about 5 minutes later comes back with Christian. And I shit you not. And they have the whole video, and I'm gonna show it to you. And it's crazy because at first they're scared because they don't recognize this nigga because he looks like The Rock. This nigga's stacked. He is fucking swole stacked. He's been definitely doing some tests out there in the fucking jungle. And he like comes up to him all fucking brooding. Huh? Yeah, it's a lunch. And he like is coming up to him, you know, and he comes closer than the female did, and they were like, oh god, like, you know, they're pretty sure that it's Christian, you know. And he gets up to him and he jumps and puts his paws on their shoulders,